Hey everyone, welcome back to English with Tom and Julia. Today, we're talking about something we all deal with but rarely admit. Lazy days. You know, those days where you wake up and your body says, nope, not today.
And instantly your brain goes, "You're wasting time. You're falling behind. You should be working." It's crazy how fast guilt kicks in.
Exactly. Lazy days scare us because we think they mean something bad about us, like we're undisciplined, weak, or not trying hard enough.
But the truth? Lazy days are human. They're natural. And honestly, they're necessary. Psychology has a very different definition of laziness. It's not refusing to work. It's actually a signal.
Right. Laziness is usually your brain saying, I'm overwhelmed, I'm tired, I need recovery.
It's basically your mind's way of pulling the emergency brake.
But we've been taught that any pause equals failure, so we ignore the signal and push harder, and then wonder why we burn out. You know, Julia, there's something interesting about lazy days. They're supposed to be relaxing, but for a lot of people, they're actually painful. Not because they did anything wrong, but because their brain keeps whispering, you should be doing something right now.
Yes, that guilt. It's almost like the moment you sit down to rest, a voice immediately appears. Everyone else is working harder than you. You're wasting time. You're falling behind. And suddenly your body is resting, but your mind is sprinting.
Here's the thing people don't realize. Lazy days don't hurt because of the laziness itself. They hurt because resting clashes with the identity you've built. If you grew up believing that being valuable means being productive, then doing nothing feels like losing your worth.
Exactly. Many people think, if I'm not achieving something, I'm falling behind. But that's not true. That's conditioning. It's something the world taught you, not something your body believes naturally.
Yeah, your body isn't guilty. Your mind learned guilt. And it learned it from school, work, parents, society, all telling you that rest must be earned.
Another layer. People aren't just guilty, they're afraid. Afraid someone will think they're not hardworking. Afraid they're not doing enough. Afraid others are judging their pace, their progress, their productivity.
Right. And it becomes this internal PR management. Even when alone, people feel they need to look productive. It's wild. Guilt becomes a performance you do for imaginary observers. Have you ever been exhausted but still feel like you should do more? That's because rest has become something we think we need to earn.
But rest is not a reward. Rest is fuel. You don't deserve rest. You require it to function.
We mix up laziness and exhaustion. Most people aren't lazy. They're tired, mentally overloaded, stressed, drained.
We grew up believing success equals constant effort.
But that's not how real success works. Athletes have rest days. Musicians have rest days. Even machines need downtime.
But humans expect themselves to function like robots.
Rest isn't the opposite of productivity. It's part of it.
Lazy days are messages. Sometimes the message is, you've been pushing too hard.
Sometimes you're mentally overstimulated.
Sometimes you're uninspired. You need novelty.
And sometimes your brain just needs silence. You know, Julia, there's this moment, and I think everyone hits it at some point, when you finally realize that fighting yourself is exhausting. You spend years forcing motivation, forcing discipline, forcing productivity, and it only makes you more tired.
Yes, there's a turning point where you go from, why am I like this, to, what is my body actually trying to tell me? And that shift, that tiny mental shift, changes everything.
1. Rest isn't the enemy, it's the signal. People talk about rest like it's some kind of enemy they have to defeat. Like, why do I feel lazy again? Why can't I push through? But what if that feeling is actually your internal air traffic control saying, hey, we need to land this plane for a moment?
Right. Your body doesn't create laziness for fun. It's a message, usually saying, you're overwhelmed. You haven't slowed down in weeks. You're mentally overloaded. Or simply, You need a break. But instead of listening, people fight it, and that fight drains them more than the resting ever would.
2. Self-compassion as a strategy, not an excuse. When you start listening, you also start practicing self-compassion. Real self-compassion, not the meme version. Not, let me skip everything forever, but let me give myself what I actually need so I can come back stronger.
Yes, self-compassion isn't letting yourself off the hook. It's giving yourself a fair chance to function like a human being. People think self-kindness makes you weak, but what actually makes you weak is constant self-attack. You can't fight yourself every day and expect energy left over for life.
3. Understanding your patterns instead of judging them. A huge part of listening to yourself is understanding patterns. You might notice you always get lazy after social events, or after a week of overworking, or when you haven't slept, or when you're overwhelmed by decisions. Once you understand the pattern, the guilt disappears.
Exactly. Because then it's not, I'm a lazy person, it's, oh, I'm burnt out. Oh, I'm overstimulated. Oh, I'm anxious. Oh, I'm lonely. Naming the real reason removes the shame from the symptom.
4. The emotional release. Something powerful happens when you stop fighting yourself. Your nervous system calms down. The tension leaves. Your shoulders drop. Your breath gets deeper. You stop bracing against your own life.
And for the first time in a long time, you feel safe with yourself. Not in a dramatic way, but in a steady, peaceful, quiet way. That's the moment people describe as, everything suddenly felt lighter. Or, I stopped being so angry at myself. Or, I finally took a real rest.
5. The new question. What do I need right now? When you stop fighting, you start asking new questions. Not, why am I like this? But, what do I need right now? Your entire life shifts when that becomes your default, because suddenly your choices are based on care, not punishment.
Exactly. You're no longer trying to fix yourself. You're working with yourself. And that's the turning point most people never reach. The moment you treat yourself like someone worth listening to. Here are healthy lazy day rules. Keep it low effort, not zero effort. Do comforting, not numbing activities. Eat something real. Move your body even lightly. Avoid comparing yourself to others.
Lazy days don't need to be destructive. They can be recharging, nurturing, grounding. Don't scroll for 10 hours. Don't isolate yourself. Don't beat yourself up mentally. Don't promise to restart your whole life tomorrow.
And don't mistake rest for giving up.
I used to feel horrible on lazy days, but I realized I was tired, not weak.
Same. I used to push myself until my body shut down. Now I honor those signals.
Lazy days didn't ruin my progress, they saved it.
If you're having a lazy day, you're not failing. You're healing.
Your worth is not measured by your productivity.
And your future self will thank you for taking care of the person you are today.
If you enjoyed today's episode, leave a like, drop a sub, and share this with a friend who needs a little kindness today.